Dungeon Master Dhoom here, and welcome to the channel. Today we are looking at my homebrew world called Glamorgan. So we are in Tabletop Simulator. I've imported my map already, my Inkarnate Pro map. It is the Pro version I used for this. It just gave me a few extra features and a few extra icons which I wanted to put in here. It's not a particularly detailed map, but yeah, it's been functional. I would call this version 1.0, and there are some changes that I need to make, which I'll go into during this video. I'll try not to keep waffling on too much in this video, but like stick to the points. So this, as you can see here, is the map of Glamorgan, which is the realm in which my players are currently in. As you can see, it's got a few mountain ranges, quite a lot of dense forests, few really big rivers. I haven't bothered putting in like little streams just because I can't get a brush small enough on Inkarnate, and I feel like you would get a lot of natural occurring streams around the forests and open areas and stuff. So I didn't really put that in. Lots of big forests, mountain ranges, as I've said. Quite coastal. This realm is quite coastal. We have a number of ports and shipping villages, fishing settlements, that sort of thing. But yeah, we've got the actual main realm itself, Glamorgan. It does have a connection to Afrin, which is another realm within the world. But this part is like all desert, and let's just kill this golem because he's getting in my way. If he will. He's not going to die on me, is he? There we go. Nope. Alright then. You be you, golem. So yeah, we've got the Afrin Desert. Lots of mountain ranges, some deadlands. But yeah, let's just start off with the very basics. The very basics are, the capital is Chariot. So it's partly built into the mountain range. And it has a couple of districts within it. The players are, like my players for the 7 Keys campaign, they arrived at the wharf. So they came in like this way on ship after waking up and being aided across the sea by a very nice water genasi by the name of Captain Swole. He kind of rescued them from like a one-shot, so a one-shot led into this campaign. He rescued them and they ended up at the wharf. And they've been doing some shenanigans around the wharf, killed some gnolls at like an old mine for some dwarven fellows, a mine called Craver Mine. And then they made their way north into Chariot, and its first district is Burbank. It's like slum district. So they made their way there, and now they've kind of dilly-dallied between Chariot and the Barrow, so they've kind of almost got like a home base at Chariot. But at the moment, the party's split, literally by, we've got our rogue who's doing rogue stuff over in Barrow, and then a tiefling, warlock, dwarf, and homebrew pixie race are in Chariot at the moment, and they're kind of following the main plot, whereas Dave, the rogue, the human rogue Dave, is in Barrow doing his thing. But yeah, we'll try and get them on path at some point, but I don't think that's going to be anytime soon. So yeah, we've got the capital. There is a Lord Regent at the moment who's overseeing the realm, and that is the Minotaur Archibald Dhoom, who my party are kind of very suspicious about the name Dhoom in general, because there's a lot of things popping up in names and objects revolving around that name. But we're not getting into the actual plot of my campaign at the moment. That'll be for a future video. So we have a very wealthy port. Port Jenkins is a very wealthy, very rich port. The wharf where they came in is very poor, slums, run down, that sort of thing. We have like this massive lake, and there's stuff. Obviously, there's going to be stuff in the lake. Come on, it's Dungeons and Dragons. But there's lots of things dotted everywhere. This is like what I would consider the player map, whereas I've got a slightly more detailed map. It's the same map as in look but on Google Drive you can make comments on pictures and stuff, and on documents. So what I've done is commented on various bits of the map. So I've had an idea for something. I was like, oh, I'll put this in here. I've put it on my secret GM map. Lots of forests. Lowlith is like a very large agricultural like town, village. One of our players is from Neath, which is very dwarven orientated. There's lots of mines into these mountains. And I'll probably go over that because like, each mine has a specific name. One leads into the Underdark, one's like a very rich gold and silver precious metal mine. Fortuna is kind of like almost a last frontier town, so it's very outlaw driven and criminally orientated. The path up to here to Aki, this is where I've got to like mainly change this map for the players, because after giving it some thought, and because the plot demands it, there is no actual. Oh, I wanted that to be green. There isn't any. There isn't a road to Aki. It's completely not what the players would think, probably because it's mainly plot driven. So all that's going, and I'm not going to release this video until the players actually know that Aki is not. It's not on the map, so to speak. It's on their map after they've done a little research, but at the moment it's all this here is just wilderness and mountain, and the Hydra's in there for flavour. There may be a Hydra, but we'll find out later on in the game, and I'll update you as that goes on. We've got a dead town over here, like a dead city. No one quite knows what's going on there, but it's corrupt in the forest. So you've always got like this parallel of light and dark, enriched forests, corrupt and decaying forests. Warden's Watch, a big tower type monument. The dog fort, again, something's probably going to be there. Most of what's on like the left hand side of this map isn't too well known to the players, because they're all focused on like the right hand side of the map, which is great because I can concentrate my efforts over there. But when I need to like venture over this way, I'll start adding more details to my own notes as I do so. The only main thing from this side of the map is one of our players is from Tessamere, which is one within the realm, or within the ancient realm. There were 3 floating cities, and Tessamere is one of them. It should be like 200 and something feet floating in the air, but it's kind of lowered at around 77 feet, and no one knows why it's as low. No one actually knows the ancient arcana surrounding why it's a floating city, because it's the only floating city in this realm, but there are another 2 located somewhere. One of them's up here. So yeah, that's Tessamere. We've got Chipstoke, Bandor and Yelk. Yelk being dwarven. Bandor, haven't really done any. It's just a placeholder name at the moment. I'll add stuff into that as it comes. Same with Greystone and Chipstoke. They're just harbours, fishing villages, that sort of thing. The middle of the map is more, you know, like this area here has got a very interesting story behind it, and I'm going to lay off that at the moment, just because if any of my players watch this video before events have taken place or before they've ventured over here themselves, it's going to be a bit of a spoiler. So spoilers, players, you've been warned. But we've got Krugma, which is, I'll go into a little thing. So Krugma's like a very magical orientated city. It's triangular on this island in the middle of this lake. Big Town again is kind of in the similar vein, but it's still agricultural and just it's a big town. It is a kind of like a second capital. It's the Birmingham of London to London sort of thing, if you look at it like that. Or in America, you know, what's a close comparison to Washington? I don't know. I'm not American. I should know things like that. Then you've got Raventop, Reventop, because I spelt it wrong, so it's canon now is Reventop, is a cursed land. It's a different cursed land to this unknown one up here, but all the forests are wilted. It's kind of its own. I wanted to do like my own take on Strahd, so it's its own little Barovia within this area, and I had to put a werewolf in just for the fun of it. You can stay there for now, because I haven't got any like rich elven cultured towns at the moment, or cities at the moment. Kemi's going to be like this very high elven society in the realm, so it's going to be interesting to actually build up that that settlement, so that region of the map. But I'm really looking forward to doing that at some point. And then I've just marked on ballroom here because I'm going to do a video on the ballroom, probably later on after my players have finished that that little campaign arc, because the ballroom, it started off as this little throwaway dungeon, which I was happy with. There was a ranger on the path from Chariot to Barrow who was going to sell them a dungeon map in its location. So I thought, great, get them on a dungeon. The players are like over this way anyway, get them on the dungeon, get them killing some stuff, fine, settled. Got an idea for what the dungeon would hold, brilliant. Players, however, decided to go back to the capital city and its huge academy, which is called Enis Mona, and they were like, oh, I want to research the ballroom. Alright, I've got nothing planned for the ballroom, so yeah, we want to know where it is. Well, you've kind of got that. Want to know what it is. Okay, so it's a dungeon under a manor. Okay, who owned the manor? Shit, look around. Think of a name. I don't know. Nightshade. Okay, Lord and Lady Nightshade had this dungeon under their manor. Okay, what is the name of the forest? I don't know. Greenbeak Forest. That'll do. So it's like all this in one session. I'm trying to like think off the top of my head. It's like, what about these Lord and Lady Nightshade? Okay, they haven't been seen in 12 years. Okay, why? Further research. They disappeared after doing something occulty. Fine. Do we know anything more about that? No. Can we get to the ballroom? No. Going to do some more research over here. It's like, but yeah, I think they're either going to do the ballroom next, or they're going to do the main plot next. Because this is sandbox, I don't want to like contain them too much. I want to explore this world myself. So yeah, they're doing research to main plot. They're doing research to the ballroom, and this little throwaway dungeon has ended up becoming something. Something more. It's become enriched in the lore of the land, which is what I love because I get to be like more creative with it. But at the same time, it's taken on its own life and lifeblood. So like the players they've decided they're going to meet up with Dave in like a couple of days. So these guys are going to come over here, depending on what they learn in the next session, and then they've got a choice. They can either come, they'll get to the crossroads. They can either go down into Lolith Farm and then across the river, or go across the river this way and then down, bordering Reventop, and then over the flats and towards Greenbeak Forest. But yeah, it's like, that's what I love about D&D, because I can try and create as much as I can possibly do at a time, but then the players are just throwing a spanner into the works, and you start off with one thing, and then before you know it, you're doing God knows what. But yeah, back onto the map. I'm really enjoying this area at the moment because it's giving me creative flair as a dungeon master, and they're learning new stuff. They're hopefully loving everything I'm doing, so that's it's a win-win situation. Back onto the map. As for, we'll go pinky purple. So we've done all these. Oh, Appleton, Quenston, Derry. Quenst, very magic orientated. Derry, just a bit of a boring town. You've got to have a few dull towns in there as well. Here is, on my GM map, is like a mine shaft. It's down to a gnome settlement called Greydor. So you've got like these big yelk like creatures that like winch up like this massive elevator and then down again, and if the players go there they can do stuff in like undergroundy tight quarters with the gnomes. That's entirely up to them. Done these two, and then Ragnite. I'm not sure what I'm doing with Ragnite. I've got a kind of idea that I want to implement like lizard folk, but I'm not sure yet. I think there's something in and around Ragnite that's sparking something, but I'm not 100% yet. And then Fast Home is another like port fishing town, fairly simple. I got a few like monuments on the coast, lighthouses maybe something more. I'm not 100% sure yet. Again, we've got this place here, the Islands of Kaltana. Don't know what I'm doing with them. The plot's not really going to venture that way, I don't think. So they're just there as a bit of like flavour into the world. There is another realm that away, and obviously, like going from before, we've got the Afrin Desert. So we've got Afrin, Glamorgan, and then this way. This arrow here is towards a realm called Sampert. But yeah, this is the world at the moment. I'd like to go back into Inkarnate Pro and just like tweak a few things, add a few forests, like make some like valley type things, and hopefully update this as the players go on, because they're going to find more locations. These towns are like the bigger settlements, whereas like Greydor, they might know of it if they give me a good history check, but I'm not putting everything on the map. Just because if they see every name, I haven't got every name, but if they see every name, they're going to be like, oh, we'll go to here, to here, to here. Whereas when they decide to go to the ballroom, there is a settlement here as well. It's only a small thing, but there is something there to break up the travel from Barrow, and then you've got your crossroads. They've recently learnt that there's an abbey here that's having some trouble, and some hill giants up here as well, which is dangerously close to the capital. So in Barrow there was two adventure guilds. Rogue Dave decided to go and speak to both guilds, and found out that there's a contract for a priest to get some of his personal possessions back from this this settlement, this abandoned abbey. And then the other guild was on about it's gearing up to take on some hill giants over there. Also, there's been some sightings of gorgons in. I think it's here. There's been a sighting of a gorgon as well, because another player found a book called "The Mysterious Creatures and Where to Find Them" in a past session. So they're learning about different things as well. But yeah, this has been a very more in-depth than I thought it would be on the realm of Glamorgan at the moment, which is Welsh, if you didn't know. A couple of Welsh names in here, Neath as well, that's a place in Wales. But yeah, I like the name Glamorgan. It kind of has this ring to it that really stuck with me, so I've got that. I will probably do deep dives into each settlement, each town, village in future videos as future content, but that has been it for now, and we'll get back to myself talking on the throne. So see you in a bit. So that is my homebrew world. There is still a lot that needs to be done, a few things that need ironing out, but this is the general layout. Not much in the actual layout will change. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, comment if you want, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next one. And may the dice forever be in your favour.